Beware, God is trying to save you from a man. The name will shock you. My beloved child, there is a moment in every destiny when the invisible world leans close, too close, to let you fall. Tonight is that moment for you. You may not feel it yet, but something ancient, protective, and fiercely loving is standing between you and a danger that has been hiding in plain sight. You've been sensing it for days, the restless thoughts, the unexpected heaviness in your heart, the strange pull telling you to pause before trusting someone. That wasn't fear. That wasn't overthinking. That was protection. There is a man, someone whose presence feels familiar yet unsettling, whose intentions are cloaked behind kindness so polished it looks like light. But listen closely, God never whispers without reason. He's been sending signs in the smallest things, delays that saved you, conversations you didn't join, meetings that suddenly fell apart. Each one was a shield around your future. And the shock is this: the name of the man you think you can trust, is the very name heaven is trying to keep you away from. Not because of who he pretends to be, but because of what he hides when nobody is watching. But before the revelation unfolds, understand this truth: your soul has been marked for a higher path. There are people who see that glow long before you ever notice it yourself. And some are drawn to it not because they care, but because they hope to dim it. This man, the one whose name is about to surface in your mind, carries a weight of intentions wrapped in sympathy, yet dripping with shadows. The way he talks, the sudden concern, the timed presence, it's not affection. It's strategy. God has been watching the way your trust reaches out toward him. And heaven has been shaking your spirit every time you move closer. Every instinct that said, "Stop," was divine intervention. Every delay that annoyed you was a miracle disguised as inconvenience. And the moment you hear his name echoing in your thoughts, that's not coincidence. That's your warning arriving right on time. Because the truth isn't arriving tomorrow. It's arriving now. And so, my beloved child, hear this as if it's being delivered straight into the core of your being. The man you are being protected from is someone you never expected. Someone whose smile feels safe but whose energy drains your peace the moment he steps away. Someone whose words sound supportive but whose intentions twist quietly beneath them. His presence in your life has been the source of the silent battles you didn't know you were fighting. God has been trying to save you not from heartbreak, but from derailment. From a connection that would cut into your purpose. From a path that would dim your strength. The name of this man will shock you because you've let him close. Not close to your heart, no, you're wiser than that, but close enough to influence your emotions. And now the truth is reaching you. Step back. Rethink. Reevaluate. Because the protection around you right now is not random. It's intentional. It's urgent. And it's for you. My beloved child, the moment you stepped into this chapter of your life, heaven leaned even closer, because the danger tied to this man is not small, it's emotional, spiritual, and silently consuming. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange tightening in your chest when he speaks too sweetly. That sudden silence in your thoughts when he steps into your space. That unusual hesitation when he asks for your trust. These are not coincidences, they are divine alarms. And the closer you get to hearing his name rise inside your mind, the more urgent this message becomes. You must stay with me through every word. Before I reveal what you need to know, pause for a second and breathe, because heaven wants this warning to reach more than just you. If at any moment your heart whispers, someone else needs to hear this too, do not ignore it, share it. Let the message travel. There are times when saving yourself becomes the first step to saving someone else. And this is one of those times. There's a reason God has been creating distance between you and this man without you fully realizing it. Notice how conversations cut off unexpectedly. Notice how plans with him fall apart at the last moment. Notice how something always distracts you right when you're about to trust him more. These things are intentional, not accidental. The divine doesn't shout, it nudges, it reroutes, it protects quietly. But today, heaven isn't whispering. Today, it's speaking through your intuition, through this message, through that restless feeling you've been carrying. And hear this clearly, whenever darkness wants to enter your life, it enters through someone who pretends to be harmless. Someone who knows how to mirror your emotions. Someone who knows exactly what to say to make you feel seen. But God sees beyond the words. And he sees the truth behind this man's eyes, the hidden pressure he brings into your spirit, the way your energy drops after talking to him. If anything in these words feels too real, too specific, it's because your soul already recognized the danger long before your mind caught up. And before I move deeper, listen closely. If this message is opening your eyes, don't hold it inside. Let someone you care about hear it too. Let them be protected the same way you're being protected now. And my beloved child, this is the part where your heart may shake, because we're getting closer to the revelation. The name that keeps flashing in your thoughts, the name that suddenly feels heavier than usual, the name you're low-key afraid to admit, that's the name heaven is warning you about. Not because he is evil, but because he is misaligned with your destiny. He would pull you into battles that are not yours. He would drain the strength you need for your real path. He would blur your clarity with confusion disguised as care. God isn't trying to remove someone you need, he's trying to remove someone who would delay everything you're meant to become. And as this truth settles into your spirit, remember, stay connected. Stay alert. More of this is coming. And if this message has stirred something inside you, if it feels like a light switching on in your mind, make sure you don't walk this awakening alone. Comment your thoughts, voice your truth, let your heart speak, because what you express today might be the reason someone else finds clarity tomorrow. Stay with me, the next part is where everything shifts. My beloved child, the moment you begin to see the truth, the world around you shifts in ways you can almost feel in your skin. You may have noticed it already, how your spirit becomes uneasy around certain people, how your mind suddenly starts questioning things you once ignored, how your heart refuses to settle for the explanations that used to convince you. This isn't doubt. This is awakening. And it's happening because the veil around that man's intentions is finally thinning. There's a reason your peace breaks every time his name appears on your screen, or his presence enters your day unexpectedly. There's a reason your soul feels heavier after talking to him. Heaven isn't just sending signs, it's amplifying them. And the shock is this, the very man you thought might bring stability is the one heaven is pulling you away from the fastest. The protection is louder now, clearer now, because the danger was closer than you realized. But don't panic. You're not alone in this. You're being guided step by step, breath by breath, into a truth that will free you more than it will frighten you. There's something powerful happening inside you right now. You're beginning to sense what God sensed long before you ever saw the first red flag. Think about it. Why do you feel drained after he leaves? Why does your intuition spike randomly when he tries to get too close? Why do you suddenly doubt his words even when they sound perfectly crafted? It's because your spirit understands energy before your mind understands logic. His presence disrupts your atmosphere. His intentions pull your focus away from your purpose. His influence tries to enter parts of your heart he has no right touching. And the truth is, he saw your value before you saw the risk. He saw your kindness, your depth, your warmth, and instead of protecting it, he tried to use it. Not always loudly, not always intentionally, but enough for heaven to step in and intervene. The strange delays, the emotional distance, the unexpected silence, none of it is random. These are divine barricades. Heaven has been shutting doors in front of him so he won't reach a place in your life that he was never meant to enter. And the moment you recognize this, your entire story changes. My beloved child, pay attention now, because the message is sharpening. The name you keep circling around in your thoughts, the name that feels familiar yet suddenly dangerous, that is the name God has been trying to rescue you from. Someone who speaks softly but carries hidden storms. Someone who offers comfort but triggers confusion the moment he steps out of sight. Someone who watches you closely, not out of care, but out of calculation. You were never meant to lose yourself in his presence. You were meant to wake up because of it. And that awakening is happening right now. You are stepping into clarity. You are stepping into protection. You are stepping into the version of you that no manipulation, no hidden motive, no disguised sweetness can touch. Stay with me, the truth is unfolding exactly the way it was meant to, and the next part will reveal the shift your soul has been waiting for. My beloved child, the light around you is shifting again, and this time it's not whispering, it's guiding with a force that refuses to let you fall back into old patterns. You may have noticed something strange these past hours, a sudden clarity, a sudden distance from people who once pulled your emotions in every direction. That isn't coldness. That isn't change. That is divine separation. When God decides to lift you out of someone's shadow, he doesn't wait for permission. He begins removing the emotional fog. He begins sharpening your intuition. He begins making the truth louder than the excuses you once gave yourself. And the truth about this man, the one whose name your spirit keeps circling, is becoming impossible to ignore. Every time you think of him now, you feel a shift, a heaviness, a realization that something about him was never aligned with your soul. That feeling is not confusion. That feeling is confirmation. Heaven is showing you what your heart didn't want to admit. Look closely at your recent thoughts. Look at the moments you rewound conversations in your mind and suddenly caught the parts you missed. Look at the way your energy reacts when you picture his face or remember his words. You are seeing him with new eyes now, eyes that are no longer blinded by familiarity or politeness. You're noticing the pauses in his voice, the hidden intentions in his tone, the way he always took a little more than he ever gave. God isn't exposing him to punish him. God is exposing him to protect you. Because your spirit is too rare, too gentle, too powerful to be shaped by someone who carries confusion in his presence. And while you may question whether you're overthinking, heaven knows better. Heaven has seen every moment where your heart felt unsettled. Heaven has watched every time you ignored your own intuition to keep peace. But now, something higher is carrying you. Something stronger is pulling you into truth. The man you thought might be safe was only safe because you didn't know what your spirit knows now. My beloved child, what you're stepping into next is not fear, it's freedom. The name that once felt harmless now feels heavy because your soul has outgrown the illusions tied to it. You're not being guided away from him because you're weak. You're being guided away because your calling is too great for someone who moves in shadows. And deep down, a part of you already knows this. You can feel your heart exhaling. You can feel the release. You can feel the shift. And that shift is only the beginning. The next part will reveal the breakthrough that's waiting on the other side of this revelation. Stay close, what's coming is clarity sharper than anything you've felt before. My beloved child, now that the truth has begun to settle in your spirit, something powerful is awakening inside you. You may feel it even now, a strange mix of relief, strength, and quiet fire rising in your chest. That is not anger. That is not fear. That is alignment. For the first time in a long time, you are seeing your own worth without the fog that man created around your emotions. God isn't just removing him from your path. He's restoring the parts of you that were slowly fading while you tried to understand someone who was never meant to be understood. Look back for a moment, not emotionally, but honestly. Every time you felt drained, every time you felt confused, every time you doubted your own intuition, it was connected to him. He didn't have to hurt you loudly. His presence alone created a quiet storm inside you. And now that heaven has stepped in, those storms are finally clearing. You're not losing a person, you're regaining yourself. Notice what's happening inside your mind right now. You're remembering conversations that felt harmless but carried hidden weight. You're realizing how often he needed your attention but never offered real support. You're seeing how he appeared at the exact moments you felt vulnerable, only to plant seeds of doubt wrapped in gentle words. But the biggest realization of all is how peaceful you feel now that this awareness has surfaced. That peace is not accidental, it's divine confirmation. God is showing you the life you will have once the door connected to that name is closed for good. A life where your joy isn't drained quietly. A life where your energy isn't pulled in directions that weaken your purpose. A life where your heart is protected, strengthened, and guided by people who match your spirit instead of manipulating it. Your clarity is growing sharper by the second, and with each breath, the emotional distance between you and that man becomes wider, cleaner, safer. My beloved child, what comes next is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of your rise. Now that the truth has been revealed, heaven can start aligning the blessings that were being delayed by his presence. You are stepping into a season of clarity where your heart will trust itself again. A season where your intuition becomes your shield. A season where no disguised intention can reach you. The name that once held power over your emotions is losing its grip, because you are finally walking into the strength God always saw in you. And as you move forward, something beautiful will happen. The people meant for you will start entering effortlessly, while the ones who were never aligned will fall away without a fight. This chapter is not about loss, it's about liberation. Stay with me, the next part will reveal the transformation waiting on the other side of this breakthrough. My beloved child, as you step deeper into this new clarity, something extraordinary is unfolding inside you. The fog that once wrapped around your heart is lifting, and for the first time, you are breathing in a truth that feels lighter, cleaner, and stronger than anything connected to that man. You may feel your spirit rising in ways you didn't expect, your chest loosening, your thoughts sharpening, your energy returning like a tide that was held back for far too long. This is what happens when God removes a weight you didn't know you were carrying. You are not healing from a person. You are healing from the version of yourself that tolerated emotional shadows disguised as comfort. And now, with heaven's guidance pouring into your spirit, you are stepping into the version of you that is impossible to manipulate, impossible to mislead, impossible to pull into hidden intentions ever again. The name that once created confusion now feels distant, almost irrelevant. That shift is not coincidence, it's liberation. Look at the strength rising within you now. You're beginning to see how protected you truly were, even when you didn't understand it at the time. Those delays that frustrated you were shields. Those unanswered messages were divine redirection. Those sudden changes in your emotions were warnings carved into your spirit. God didn't just save you from a man, He saved you from a future that would have drained your purpose. And now, you're seeing everything with new eyes. You can feel the difference between real peace and disguised affection. You can sense the difference between someone who comes with intention and someone who comes with agenda. You can recognize energy that wants to uplift you, and energy that only wants access to your light. This is spiritual maturity, unfolding inside you with a force that will reshape every connection you build from this moment forward. Your heart can no longer be fooled by sweetness without substance. Your mind can no longer be clouded by charm without integrity. You have awakened. My beloved child, understand this clearly: the moment God removes someone, He always replaces the empty space with clarity, strength, and elevation. And that elevation is already beginning. You are entering a chapter where your intuition becomes your greatest compass, where you trust the signals heaven sends without doubting your own worth, where no disguised intention can make its way past your spirit. The man you were being warned about no longer has access to the deepest parts of your emotions, because God has sealed those parts for someone worthy, someone aligned, someone genuine, someone who carries light rather than shadow. You are stepping into a season where your heart will choose differently, because now it knows differently. The confusion that once chained you has broken. The emotional fog that once blurred your judgment has cleared. And the destiny that was being delayed by His presence is now rushing toward you, faster than you ever imagined. Stay close. What comes next is the revelation of who you become once the past can no longer reach you. My beloved child, now that you have stepped completely out of the shadows tied to that man's presence, your spirit is entering a level of clarity you were always meant to reach. You may feel it even now, a slow, powerful shift rising in your chest, like your soul is finally remembering its own strength. This shift is not subtle. It's not quiet. It's a transformation that has been waiting behind every moment of confusion, every drained emotion, every silent warning heaven placed in your path. And now, with that weight gone, you can finally feel what real freedom tastes like. You can sense the difference between peace and pressure, between intuition and illusion, between someone meant for your journey and someone meant to distract you from it. The man you were being protected from no longer holds a place in your future, because God has already sealed the door behind him. You're not just moving on, you're rising above. The confusion that once chained you has broken. The emotional fog that once blurred your judgment has cleared. And the destiny that was being delayed by his presence is now rushing toward you, faster than you ever imagined. Stay close. What comes next is the revelation of who you become once the past can no longer reach you. My beloved child, now that you have stepped completely out of the shadows tied to that man's presence, your spirit is entering a level of clarity you were always meant to reach. You may feel it even now, a slow, powerful shift rising in your chest, like your soul is finally remembering its own strength. This shift is not subtle. It's not quiet. It's a transformation that has been waiting behind every moment of confusion, every drained emotion, every silent warning heaven placed in your path. And now, with that weight gone, you can finally feel what real freedom tastes like. You can sense the difference between peace and pressure, between intuition and illusion, between someone meant for your journey and someone meant to distract you from it. The man you were being protected from no longer holds a place in your future, because God has already sealed the door behind him. You're not just moving on, you're rising above. Take a look at yourself through this new lens. You're stronger than before, more aware than before, more spiritually awake than you've ever been. Your heart has regained its rhythm, your intuition has regained its power, and your destiny has regained its speed. All the energy you used to spend trying to understand him is now returning back to you in the form of clarity. You may notice your thoughts are lighter, your sleep deeper, your decisions sharper. That is what happens when the wrong presence exits your story. God didn't just take someone away, he removed a blockage that was slowing everything meant for you. And now, with that door finally closed, the blessings that were waiting on the other side are beginning to align. You are stepping into relationships that nourish, not drain. Connections that bring peace, not confusion. Truths that elevate, not entangle. The shift you're feeling is the universe rearranging things in your favor. My beloved child, this is your turning point. You are not the same soul you were at the beginning of this message. You have walked through awakening, you have faced the truth, and you have released a presence that was quietly dimming your light. Now, something extraordinary is opening for you. A new chapter where your heart will choose with wisdom, where your intuition will speak with confidence, where your path will unfold without silent battles pulling you backward. The name that once stirred uneasiness now holds no power over you. You are free, fully, deeply, undeniably free. And in this freedom, you will discover the version of yourself God always intended you to be, strong, clear, aligned, and protected. Stay close. What happens next is the rise of your destiny, unblocked, untouched, and unstoppable. My beloved child, now that your spirit has stepped into this new light, something even greater is beginning to unfold around you. You may feel it already, this calm strength wrapping itself around your heart, this quiet confidence rising inside you like dawn after a long night. That is not coincidence. That is restoration. The moment God removed that man's influence from your path, your inner world began healing in places you didn't even know were wounded. The heaviness you used to carry isn't returning. The confusion you once battled isn't circling back. You are stepping into a season where peace finally feels natural and clarity finally feels permanent. This is the chapter where you no longer question your worth, your vision, or your intuition. You've walked through the warning, and now you are walking into the reward. Look closely at what's happening inside you now. Your energy feels different, brighter, sharper, more protective of itself. Your mind is no longer caught in loops of overthinking. Your heart is no longer bending to people who drain more than they give. For the first time in a long time, you can feel your own spirit standing tall, unshaken, untouched by the shadows that once tried to reach you. That man's name, his presence, his influence, it no longer echoes in your life. What once felt like a storm now feels like a distant sound fading behind you. And as it fades, new doors are beginning to open. Doors that were locked while he lingered in your space. Doors that carry opportunities, connections, and blessings aligned with your true purpose. Heaven didn't just remove him, heaven upgraded you. Your intuition is stronger. Your boundaries are clearer. Your peace is guarded by a force greater than anything that ever tried to disrupt it. My beloved child, understand this, you are stepping into a future where the right people will feel different from the very beginning. Their presence will not drain you, it will steady you. Their words will not confuse you, they will align with your spirit. Their energy will not hide shadows, it will carry clarity. You will no longer be drawn to those who pretend to offer light while hiding darkness behind their intentions. Your heart is too awakened for that now. You have crossed a threshold that cannot be undone. And the beautiful truth is this, the protection that saved you from the wrong man is the same protection guiding you towards someone who will reflect the strength, depth, and purity of your own spirit. This next chapter is not about fear, it's about fulfillment. You've survived the warning. You've passed the test. You've awakened to your own power. And now, everything meant for you is finally free to find you. Stay close, the rise of your destiny is only just beginning.